my laptop over here in case you see me looking to the side, because I wanted to make sure that I don't miss, you know, any of the points that I wanted to address basically. So I have like a whole, how many pages I have? It's like 1,300 words basically. So I basically wrote like a kind of mini essay on it. As we all know, the coronavirus pandemic has been affecting the whole world, and it's affecting and crippling so many countries, and it basically caught the world unprepared, to be honest. Every country is kind of just struggling, figuring out how to handle it. You have countries like New Zealand who have basically overcome the pandemic. They had a total of 1,504 cases, and within 3 months they only have 27 cases that are currently active, and only 21 people have died from the virus. The country is getting back to normal. They practice social distancing and a lockdown, and everything was normal. Then you have countries like the USA, where Trump is just on a rampage. One day he's telling people to drink Lysol, another day he's, you know, talking about non-FDA approved drugs. Even countries like Canada, where they have provided palliatives. I heard that in Canada they're getting like $2,000 a month, which some people were not even earning before the pandemic. So, you know, different countries have just been doing different things, trying to handle it in different ways. And then you have countries like Nigeria, and you know, everybody talks about Africa, how Africa is going to be one of the most dangerous zones basically, and how we're going to lag behind in handling the pandemic. But then you see within Africa as well, there are countries like Eritrea and Seychelles handling the pandemic in what seems to be quite a good way. They have a high percentage of recovery. They are really progressive in their approach. I heard in Wuhan, where they were able to get over it, now cases are reappearing. So, you know, the pandemic just has everyone running crazy. So please don't mistake anything I see in this video to mean that, you know, I expect that Nigeria is meant to have it all figured out. In reality, nobody has it all figured out. No country has it all figured out. Everybody is just figuring out what to do one step at a time basically. But you know, I did want to just make a video to enlighten us about, you know, maybe some recommendations that we can consider if this type of thing happens again basically. So yeah, just a quick disclaimer, like every country is obviously handling it differently, and no country was prepared for this. Today is the 22nd of May. I was waiting to get closer to the 28th of May before filming this video, because on the 27th of February is when the first case was announced in Nigeria, in Lagos State. And as at today, we're up to 7,116 cases. So that's not even up to 3 months. But then I'll be sure to update the statistic in my description box and on my website whenever it is I'm going to post this video. I do hope to post this video on the 28th, so that it's like a 3-month update on how Nigeria is handling the pandemic. I need to start by commending the healthcare workers who are handling the pandemic, who are risking their lives, the Nigerians who are really doing everything they can to make sure that people are recovering, people are staying safe, people are, you know, treated well. You hear of survivors, people like Sheun Oshowobi, who runs the Stand to End Rape initiative. She had contracted COVID after, you know, she went to accept her Commonwealth Award, and she shares her account. And basically one thing I really got from her account was how, you know, the healthcare workers in the isolation center were really helpful to her, and really, you know, made the place feel homely and made her feel like she could get through it. So you hear people, anytime they do share their accounts, they do tend to credit the healthcare workers. So I don't think I can start this video without giving a kudos to our healthcare workers. The other day I even heard that, you know, the National Medical Association is planning on going on strike because of, you know, how the healthcare workers have been subject to abuse by security agents when they're trying to like get to work and stuff like that. So I'm gonna address that later. But you know, what they're doing is not easy, especially even in Nigeria, where they're underpaid and underappreciated. you know, underprotected, if I'll put it like that. So I do want to start by crediting them and commending their efforts in helping us overcome the pandemic and to handle the pandemic in the best way possible. The NCDC is the main body tasked with the responsibility for research, tracking and enlightenment about the disease. They are the ones who you know, if you suspect that you have the disease, you call them, they come pick you up and then, you know, take you to an isolation center where you can get the treatment that you require. And they are also the ones charged with the responsibility for keeping us informed about, you know, statistics. Where I even got the numbers about the current cases is on their website. I must commend their website. There's a great deal of transparency and efficiency on their website. You really get to see the value of their work in a sense. Like I love their website. I even think that their website is better than our Nigerian Senate website. So credit to the NCDC. You know, they do seem like they have the right intentions, but then, you know, people have obviously complained about, they've tried to call the NCDC, they've not been able to reach them.
Let's say person just catch the disease now and the person not the cough, you know if you breathe again, you understand? So we want to call NCDC. Say, may we call them now, may they do tests like this. See what they will say.
Please wait. Your call is being processed.
COVID-19. Okay, I will try it again. Wash. Look at it.
The only thing we did now to the law.
Look, I can't.
Please note that your calls are being recorded for quality assurance purposes.
Alright, I know.
All our channels are currently engaged.
Okay.
Please hold for the next available agent.
Alright.
I don't know if he did it as jokes or if he actually meant to do it, but there are definitely some lapses in their work. But then I listened into a webinar that they participated in with the Nigerian Bar Association, and they were open and honest about the fact that they are constrained. Like, they have issues of funding, they have issues with personnel. Like, you know, they're just one of these bodies that the federal government, I'm sure they've just been neglected. Nobody really assumed that this pandemic was coming. They've also been accused of being toothless bulldogs, because even if you violate you know, any of their recommendations or their guidelines, there isn't really that much they can do without political engagement or political will. The truth of the matter is that is just Nigeria for you. There is really not that much you can do. Even if you're mandated legally to do stuff in this country, you need our political will to actually put things into motion. You need political power, most especially, or financial power. Even when people have complained about testing, you see that the average Nigerian is not getting tested. It is the high flyers. Like, everybody was so outraged that Davido and his 35-member crew were able to get tested, like when testing kits were actually quite scarce. So money is power and politics is power in this country, so just bear that in mind. So, like, you know, aside from all the credits I've given, that now leads us on to discuss how our leaders, how our political leaders are addressing and handling the pandemic.
No food, no money, nothing. We have to stay at home. We've been home now for over a week. Nothing has been given to us. We're just home sleeping. I mean, we are tired. Do you think we have governor in Lagos State? I mean, I don't know if we have governor. We have governor, we are suffering here. So more are still going to happen. More will happen. Because the government is doing nothing. They are not helping anybody. So they should expect more. It will happen. All they are doing is just to embezzle money. There's nothing like COVID in Nigeria. All these patients are talking about their malaria patients. Tell me where is the vaccine to treat them. Tell me where is the machine to detect a COVID patient. So all our others, they are only using this is just a scam.
To contain the spread of the virus, our President Muhammad Buhari, announced a 2-week lockdown twice for Lagos, Abuja and Ogun State. So on the 29th of March was the first time we heard from the president, and he gave a pre-recorded speech that was quite bland and uninspiring. You know, many Nigerians were just like, is this it? Like, really?
Cases and few disease patients